Good evening, guys. This is Sweet Potato coming to you with Proverbs chapter 15. I don't have to be reminded that it's late. I know that it's super late. I know it's ridiculously late, and I'm very sorry for this, but it's 11:30 and we gotta get this done now. So if you guys are ready, then spuds up and let's do this. A soft answer turneth away wrath, but the grievous words stir up anger. The tongue of the wise useth the knowledge all right, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a branch in the spirit. A fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. A soft answer turneth away wrath. A soft answer turneth away wrath. That means that if you come, that if someone comes to you for knowledge and wisdom, you should actually be able to speak to them in an amicable way, like you would speak to any regular human being. You should not regard them as a fool like a Pharisee would. You must teach them in a way that you would want to be taught, the same way you were taught, with patience and with knowledge. But grievous words stir up anger. Grievous words, as in condemnation. Do not ever condemn a person. Okay, you are not in charge of that. Okay, the Lord in heaven is in charge of condemning people, and none of us have any right. That's what we have to remember as people. Nothing that we say is ever gonna affect anyone else unless we know how to profess the word of the Lord right. And the scriptures tell us how to by giving us these examples. Anyway, the tongue of the wise useth knowledge all right, but the mouth of fools poureth out foolishness. Knowledge comes out of the mouth of the wise. Foolishness comes out of the mouth of fools because they're fools. The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the evil and the good. The eyes of the Lord are in every place. They see everything you do, even the badness and the gladness. Booyah. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life, but perverseness therein is a breach in the spirit. A wholesome tongue is a tree of life. That means a wholesome tongue can heal people. It can truly bring them on the path of light. But perverseness in the tongue is a breach in the spirit. A perverse, a froward, and an arrogant, a sinful tongue will breach the spirit. It'll penetrate the spirit and leave it in shambles. Sorry, a fool despiseth his father's instruction, but he that regardeth reproof is prudent. A fool will despise his father's instruction and will abandon it. He will not take heed to it. But he that regardeth reproof or correction is wise or prudent. In the house of the righteous is much treasure, but in the revenues of the wicked is trouble. In the house of the righteous there is treasure in the Lord, but the revenues of the wicked is trouble. Those things they leave behind, those treasures they have, they're just trouble and mischief. In the lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord, but the prayer of the upright is his delight. The way of the wicked is an abomination unto the Lord, but he loveth him that followeth after righteousness. The lips of the wise disperse knowledge, but the heart of the foolish doeth not so. Wise man disperses knowledge, but the heart of the foolish, only foolishness. The sacrifice of the wicked is an abomination to the Lord. It doesn't matter how many goats you sacrifice. You're still going to be the fact that the wicked man who only intends on causing mischief and stirring up trouble is actually serving up something that will make him look like a righteous man. He's being a hypocrite. He's being a liar, and the lying tongue is an abomination to the Lord. That's why it is an abomination to the Lord. But he that loveth him followeth after righteousness. Booyah. Correction is a grievous unto him that forsaketh the way, and he that hateth reproof shall die. Heck and destruction are before the Lord. How much more than the hearts of the children of men? A scorner loveth not one that reproveth them, neither will he go unto the wise. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of heart the spirit is broken. The heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on foolishness. All the days of the afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast. Better is little with the fear of the Lord, than great treasure and trouble therewith. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is, than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. Correction is grievous unto them that forsaketh the way. Correction is It is literally an abomination to those who forsake the way of God, who leave the path of the Lord to join on the path of death. They hate correction because they have their sins on their back and they are not prepared. They are not prepared to see them again. And he that hateth reproof shall die. That means that these people who hate reproof because they've left the word of the Lord shall perish. Hell and destruction are before the Lord. I love how I said heck the first time. How much more then the hearts of the children of men, heck and destruction are before the Lord. See, the Lord decides who gets into there, but and those things are right in front of him. He watches over them as well. So how much more does he watch over the hearts of the children of men? He watches over us all the time. He keeps a close eye on us too. Like, the scorner loveth not one that reproveth him, neither will he go unto the wise. He will not go unto the wise, because the wise man will only will not tell him what he's done wrong, but he will give him instruction to righten his way, to straighten his path. But he won't want to take that instruction. That's why he doesn't go into the wise in the first place. And he hates the person who corrects him because he's a scorner. And, he's already on that path of righteousness. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance, but by sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken. A merry heart maketh a cheerful countenance. A merry heart maketh a cheerful walk, a cheerful disposition, a cheerful upstanding. But the mouth of fools feedeth. By sorrow of the heart the spirit is broken. If your heart is sorrowful, then your spirit has breached again. How can you possibly be a righteous man in the Lord if your heart is not well? If your heart is heavy laden, you just can't. The heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, but the mouth of fools feedeth on foolishness. The heart of him that hath understanding seeketh knowledge, because knowledge is the next step in understanding. Understanding, knowledge, wisdom. That's the pattern. So if you've already got that understanding and you're going after that knowledge, you can get that wisdom, But the mouth of fools feeds on foolishness, so it can spit it back out later. All the days they afflicted are evil, but he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast. All the days they afflicted are evil, because they're afflicted by their own sins and their wickedness. But he that is of a merry heart hath a continual feast, a feast of love and compassion and righteousness and holiness. Continual feast. He's feeding on every word that cometh out of the mouth of the Lord. He does not even need to know what's being said in front of him. As long as he knows it's righteous, he'll know what I mean? Booyah. Better is little with the fear of the Lord than a great treasure and trouble therewith. Oh, that is candid as cheese. Better is it little with the fear of the Lord, the poor man with righteous tendencies, than great treasure and trouble therein. Nobody wants grievousness in their treasure. Nobody wants abhorrence in their treasure. Nobody wants hatred in their treasure. Disgusting. Better is a dinner of herbs where love is than a stalled ox and hatred therewith. A dinner of herbs, literal spices, is better if it has love and compassion, communion, fellowship, than a dinner of a stalled ox with hatred for the world. A wrathful man stirreth up strife, but he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife. The way of the slothful man is an hedge of thorns, but the way of the righteous is made plain. A wise son maketh a glad father, but the foolish man despiseth his mother. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly. Without counsel purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors they are established. A wrathful man stirreth up strife, because he is strife. He walks in that mischief. He wants that strife. But he that is slow to anger appeaseth strife, because he's slow to anger. He's patient. He's long-suffering. He's temperate. He knows how to control himself, and he can appease that anger within the other man by spreading his peace onto him. You know what I mean? The way of the slothful man is an hedge of thorns. Oof. It'll only, if you walk on that way, you will only be hurt. That's what they're trying to say. It's a hedge of thorns. But the way of the righteous is made plain. It's nice. It's solid. It's straight. Delicious. A wise son maketh a glad father, but a foolish man despiseth his mother. A wise son is the pride of his father, but a foolish man despiseth his mother, because he despises those that love him, those who will give him that reproof and only want the best for him. He doesn't want to be corrected. Remember, he doesn't want to be corrected. Folly is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, but a man of understanding walketh uprightly. Failure, fallacy is joy to him that is destitute of wisdom, because he hath no wisdom. and he only wants to lose any wisdom. He doesn't want any wisdom. He only wants mischief. But a man of understanding walketh uprightly. He walks uprightly on the path of life, baby. Without counsel, purposes are disappointed. But in the multitude of counselors, they are established. Without instruction, without teachers, purposes are disappointed. Those things that you're trying to do, those goals that you set, without instruction or counselors or any way to learn these things, they're going to be disappointed. Those goals will not be achieved, but in a multitude of counselors, they are established. If you have your outlet, if you have your teachers, if you have your instructors, if you have those people who can help you on your path, obviously you don't need a multitude of them to succeed. But if you have a multitude of them, it'll be established quickly, not even a problem, baby. 23. A man hath joy in the answer of his mouth, and a word spoken in due season, how good it is. The way of life is above to the wise, that he may depart from the heck beneath. The Lord will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, but the words of the pure are pleasant words. He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live. A man hath joy by the answer of his mouth, because if the answer of his mouth is good and righteous and faithful, then he'll have every reason ahead to be joyous from it, because he knows that it's pleasing the Lord. And a word spoken in due season, how good it is. In due season, in the right situation, the right scripture coming in at the right time, and only to touch the heart of those who are afflicted. That is how good it is to uplift the hearts of those who've lost their way. How good it is. That word spoken in due season. The way of life is above to the wise, but that he may depart from the heck beneath. The way of life is above. It's above. It's up. We have to climb up so that we may escape from the beneath. The Lord will destroy the house of the proud, but he will establish the border of the widow. The house of the foolish will be overthrown. We've heard that one many times. It'll be destroyed, just toppled over. See? This is the house of the proud. Overthrown. But the border of the widow, the foundation of the widow, will be established. The thoughts of the wicked are an abomination to the Lord, even the thoughts of the wicked, good gracious. But the words of the pure are pleasant words that touch the hearts and the souls of those around them. He that is greedy of gain troubleth his own house, but he that hateth gifts shall live. He that is greedy of gain, who only thinks about themselves, who is only selfish and desireth those good material things, they will run that house ragged, because they're spending all the money on themselves, and they won't have enough money to pay rent, light, water. They will destroy that house in no time, then they'll be homeless. Okay. But he that hateth gifts shall live. He that hates gifts, that means that you don't. It doesn't mean that you just dislike gifts. It means that you hate unnecessary things, those things that are menial, that are monetary. Okay? It means gifts of the Lord. Now those will do you right, but he that hates gifts, physical gifts that bear no real value, he shall live, because he'll have his house up. The heart of the righteous studieth to an answer, but the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. The light of the eyes rejoiceth the heart, and a good report maketh the bones fat. The ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. The heart of the righteous studieth to answer. The heart of the righteous studies. He will put his nose in that book to answer the question that he is asked of him. But the mouth of the wicked poureth out evil things. He'll lie to you. He'll make it think that he knows exactly what he's talking about, only to lead you into a ditch. The Lord is far from the wicked, but he heareth the prayer of the righteous. The Lord is far from the wicked. Here's the Lord. Here's the Lord, and here's the wicked. The Lord can't hear the wicked, because the wicked talks, but the Lord's too far away to hear him. But the righteous, they're right next to each other. Even so, the Lord, that you can whisper your prayer in the Lord's mouth, and he'll hear you right and clear. The light of the eyes rejoiceth the heart, and a good report maketh the bones fat. The light of the eyes rejoiceth the heart. The light of the eyes are the windows of the soul, and the light in the soul, that flame of passion, that compassion of love lighting in your soul. It makes the heart rejoice, and a good report makes the bones fatten. Good report, a good upstanding, good disposition, that good countenance makes the bones fat. It'll make you strong and sturdy, unable to be knocked down by those obstacles. The ear that heareth the reproof of life abideth among the wise. The ear that heareth the correction of life abideth among the wise, because he knows what he's done wrong and he's only aiming to fix himself. He that refuseth instruction despiseth his own soul, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. He that does not desire that knowledge, that wisdom more than understanding, he despises his own soul. He doesn't want it to flourish, but he that heareth reproof getteth understanding. Because he'll know what he did wrong and only try to improve. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom, and before honor is humility. The fear of the Lord is the instruction of wisdom. You have wisdom talking to you directly. That lady was going crazy back in the earlier chapters. She was snapping, but she's talking to you directly in that soft, pleasant voice, the words of the wise. Because she's wisdom, of course she's wise. She's telling you that you need to fear the Lord. You need to come to the Lord right now. You need to be his servant, be his child, and do all things in a way that's pleasing and simple to him. And if you mess up, if you get overtaken by an obstacle, you gotta get back up. We have no time to waste feeling sorry for yourself, no time to waste on that obstacle, because it was there. But now it's behind you, and you can move on even stronger than you were before. And before honor is humility. Before you can gain that honor, before you can gain that, not letting the battery drop. Stop. The battery wanted to drop again. I've already lost a battery in this series. If you want that honor, if you want that glory, then you have to be human. Then you've got to have humility. You've got to be humble. You've got to be someone who can knock themselves down a peg. Don't be arrogant. Don't be prideful. Don't be rude. You just gotta do it. In any case, that was Proverbs chapter 15. It was awesome. We learned about the merry heart, about the lies of the tongue, the truthful lies of the tongue. We learned about the words spoken in due season. Yeah, I glanced over there just sees. Yeah, it was amazing. Just like it always is, Solomon is the best. He's candid. He's upright. He's honest, and he only tells us what we need to hear. He doesn't tell us anything less. In any case, let's pray. My holy righteous Father in heaven, I come to you for this day. Thank you so much for all the wonderful blessings and opportunities that you give us throughout our entire lives. I pray that you may very well bless us. That we may very well walk with your humility. That we may have that honor. That we may very well be those people who aim to be your only righteous disciples and servants, to very well speak that good word in due time, to study to answer the questions that are asked of us concerning your only righteous word. We pray that we may very well walk on this life. I thank you so much for every good blessing you've brought to my life and to anybody else's. We thank you so much for every single good thing you've done in our lives. I thank you so much for letting me see this day. 17 years ago at 4:37 a.m. I was born. This day was wonderful. I got to spend it with my friends and my family. It was amazing. I thank you so much for allowing me to see this day and allowing me to be 1 year away from being from being a legal adult. But thank you for just being with me every step of the way. I pray you may very bless each and every one of us as we continue on our walk. I thank you so much for the luck that you've given me. You've made me extremely lucky. People who believe in you sometimes don't believe in luck. Everything happens for a reason, yes, but luck, it is a very important thing in life. And I thank you so much for allowing me to be lucky. For me to run out of money and then walk outside and find $10 on the street that same day that I'm complaining about running out of money. I know that's you. The luck that you gave me is a true blessing. I thank you so much for the luck that I have that's allowing people to see this right now. And I thank you so much for each and every breath that you give me. And I pray you may help me that I may not waste these breaths and do all things that is pleasing and acceptable in your sight. I pray these blessings, as well as blessings for this night, for this household, and for this life. In your holy Son, Jesus Christ's name, amen. Well, that was Proverbs 15, guys. Thank you very much for joining me. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for loving me. And I pray that you may love yourselves as well. This potato is out. Peace.